when it comes to universe mode, I've possibly become more famous on YouTube because of it, spanning over 9 incredible seasons. You guys, if you haven't seen my 9th season yet, be sure to check out my second channel. But we're not here to talk about my universe mode. I could just rewatch all of my universe mode and come up with like a top 10 best moments of universe mode. But honestly, that would take a while, and I'd have to watch through all the episodes again to really give you guys a really in-depth into the eyes of my creative decisions and booking. If you guys want to learn more about all of that, you can. If you want to hear more about my creative ideas on how I handle universe mode, then maybe I'll consider making a video about it. But today, we're not here to talk about my universe mode. I could talk about it all as much as I want and how great I have been handling everything. And personally, it's the great alternative to real WWE, because my WWE is an alternative to the real WWE, because the real WWE is shite right now. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the wackiness, the weird stories that I did when I played when I was a lot younger. Back in the days of WWE 12 all the way to WWE 13, 2K14, 2K15, and hell, even SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, where Universe Mode debuted. Now, obviously, I can't remember all the wacky, weird storylines that I ever did, but however, I can tell you that maybe a couple of my created characters were basically built from my childhood universe mode. I can give you a few examples. Cortez and Emily Bell were 2 names that I came up with for custom characters all those years ago, growing up as a kid. So there you go, you got yourselves a little bit of insight on 2 of my characters from universe mode, that I created these characters years ago when I was younger. So that's a little bit of history for all of you, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not here to give you guys the details of these people and all that, but if you guys do want to learn details about all that, I can always make a video about it in the near future if you guys are interested. But today we're gonna be talking about my wacky and weird storylines and ideas that I did as a kid. Now, obviously, I can't remember every single thing I did, but there are 3 I can remember very, very fondly. There are 3 I remember very, very well, so I'm going to be talking about these 3 particular stories that I did as a kid, and I find one particularly hilarious, one particularly silly, because I know it would never happen, and the third one was, well, it was a concept idea that I thought that later transitioned into my real universe mode, because it was something I did in my actual universe mode if you've watched every single season. So the first storyline I'm going to be talking about is a heel, Kelly. Now this was the story that I told you guys that transitioned into real universe mode, because in real universe mode, I did make Kelly a heel in my actual universe mode. This story, as a young person, was something that I did years ago because I thought it would have been great, and it was something completely new. And back in the old universe mode, whenever you cause a run-in, you could turn a superstar face or heel depending on the person that they fought. If you were a babyface and you attacked the face wrestler and you helped the heel wrestler win, you would ultimately become a heel. But if you were a heel and you attacked a heel wrestler, you would ultimately turn face. Man, things were so much simpler back then. You could actually run in matches and cause a lot of chaos. But now you can't really do that anymore, which is a real darn shame. So this was done on WWE 13, because I liked Kelly's model in WWE 13 more than WWE 12. I can't even remember what her model was in WWE 12, to be completely honest, but I preferred WWE 13's model. But anyway, and also in WWE 13, you could change their ring attire. You could actually just recolor their ring attire. So it was much easier for me to do this with Kelly Kelly. You couldn't do that in WWE 12. So Kelly Kelly, I basically colored her ring gear black to symbolize she's now a heel. So basically, it was just something I did when I was younger. I just thought making Kelly Kelly a heel would be an interesting dynamic, and basically making her the top heel think of what Eve Torres was to John Laurinaitis, but just put Kelly Kelly in that position instead, and then just branch out on her own as a heel competitor, and she was the Divas champion. She basically became the final boss. She basically became the top heel, and I just thought it was ultimately fun. And if you guys paid attention to all of my Universe Mode seasons, Kelly Kelly would also transition into a heel in my actual Universe Mode itself. So basically, this story as a kid really inspired me to really eventually play with the idea in actual Universe Mode itself. So my second weird idea that I did was make AJ Lee the new Undertaker at WrestleMania. Yes, I know, it sounds really, really dumb. In 2K15, because that was the last game she was in WWE 2K15, she has an undefeated streak at WrestleMania, because in real life she won twice at WrestleMania. She won at WrestleMania 31, and she won at WrestleMania 30. And because 2K15 was based on WrestleMania 30, yeah, you could kind of tell it was quite outdated. So basically, every WrestleMania, I would always have AJ Lee compete at the event, whether it was for the Divas Championship, or just a regular random match where she just competes with a random competitor like Paige or Nikki, Brie, or whoever, and I'd always have her walk away with the victory. I would even have her a couple of times main event WrestleMania, just to make her record look even better that she main evented a couple of times. So overall, it was just a weird, funny concept that I just did. I just thought it was funny. No, I didn't have her break Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. I didn't have her go all the way to The Undertaker. I believe by the time I really stopped, I kind of stopped around about maybe 16, 17 wins. I can't remember exactly. But yes, all of this was on the PS3, because again, I didn't stream back then. So all of this stuff that I did was on my PlayStation 3, because you couldn't stream on your PS3. You can't stream on your PS3. So, does this AJ Lee undefeated streak that I did transition to Universe Mode now? Some of you may be asking. Well, sort of. It kind of feels like... Well, sort of. It kind of plays into Tessa Blanchard at the moment, because Tessa Blanchard in actual Universe Mode is 3-0 at WrestleMania, and she'll be looking to go 4-0 against Sky Lynch. So I guess you could kind of say the AJ Lee undefeated streak has kind of transitioned into something that I did with Tessa Blanchard in real life. So there's that. And last but not least, this one is probably by far the funniest, the weirdest one I ever did, but possibly the one that I really was actually really proud of, because I put a lot more creativity into it. The third and final story I'm going to be talking about in this wacky world of Universe Mode, my wacky stories of Universe Mode, was I made Yoshitatsu WWE Champion. Does anyone remember that guy, Yoshitatsu? Do people remember that goon? Do people remember that Japanese guy with the weird funny music and he'd wave his hands around? The guy with the weird Japanese music? But yeah, do people remember that guy, Yoshitatsu? But yeah, it was WWE 12 I did this on. It was WWE 12 I did this on. Yes, he was in WWE 13, but at the time I did it on WWE 12. Basically, one of the things, even though those games' Universe Modes are absolutely way better than current universe mode. The only thing that current universe mode does better is that you can cut promos, or you can't do that anymore. But you can also play. You can also play through. Well, obviously you can play through all the matches in other universe modes. But I think current universe mode could really do a lot of what WWE 13 and WWE 14 or 2K14 and WWE 12 did. Because I guarantee you, those games were way better than what they. Those games universe modes were way more fun, and you could actually just have fun with it. Like, and even when you had a storyline going on, it would actually involve the two people that you've got going on, and it's really, really good. And it's really, really good. But regardless of that, one thing I didn't. The only thing I didn't really like was that you'd have the ranking system. Because I guess this is what I was meant to say. The one thing that I liked about current universe mode is that you can change people's rankings. Like, you can move people to different rankings. Like, you can move superstars to different rankings, and you can put them in any division you want. The main problem with those universe modes back then is that you couldn't really move the wrestlers from their divisions, and you'd always have the same people on top. And even if you want to give someone else an opportunity, say for example an Alex Riley, you want to make him Intercontinental Champion, you put the title on him, but then when you simulate it, it'll go straight back to the person, you know, who's higher up in that division, and then the person higher up in that division will just straight up win the title back, and then the person you work hard pushing will just go right back down the bottom of the pecking order. So basically, for me to push Yoshitatsu to become WWE Champion, and don't get me wrong, and I'm telling you, it's just funny. I legitimately had to play as him all the time. Every match he was in, even if he wasn't in a match, I would book him. I would book him in a match, and I'd have him win every single time. First, I built him up as this underdog that wanted to become the WWE Champion. He would win the Royal Rumble match, and then he would lose at WrestleMania. He would come up short and just fail to win the title. Don't ask me who the champion was. I probably couldn't remember. Probably maybe John Cena or something like that. But yeah, he failed to win the big one, and then I ultimately turned him heel. And then after that, I turned him heel, and then finally, he became WWE Champion. And the annoying thing is that I knew if he was to lose the title in his first defense, all my hard work would just come to an end, and then he would just plonk right back down the bottom of the rankings. So I had to continuously keep playing as him to make sure he'd stay champion. And when I felt it was the right time for him to lose the belt, that was when I would have him lose. So ultimately, the older games, even though their universe modes were better, they were a bit weird when it came to the ranking systems. And yeah, the ranking systems weren't exactly very good back in the older games. So that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of this story of my wacky, weird universe mode stories. If you want to hear more of my wacky, weird universe mode stories, you can just let me know that you want to hear more. Or if you want to hear about how I handle my real life universe mode, you can just always suggest that as well, and I can give you guys my creative input and how I handle every single week and every single season and how I plan things out. That's if you're interested in wanting to hear anything about that. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining me for this video. Hit that thumbs up, give me your thoughts down below, and I will see you all next time.